Hi, my name is Lusha Huang. Today, I'm excited to present my thesis. It's Chinese to me. As a Chinese student in an international department, I always want to share our great culture, like a good ambassador for culture exchange with Americans, both in school and socially. Americans often tell me Chinese culture is hard to access. In 2012, China-US trade reached $484.7 billion. My vision is enhancing Americans' understanding of China and its 1.3 billion people to eliminate the gap between the two nations and to promote better communication. So I asked myself, how can I use my talent as an industrial designer to encourage Americans' understanding of Chinese culture? Research began with reading the books, ranging from Chinese culture, Chinese symbolism to design in China. I interviewed designers and other professionals with experience in Chinese culture. Well-known design thought leader John Maida said, many Chinese social networks have more features than Americans' ones. Marilyn Davis, CEO at K2S, told me that it would be a wonderful contribution if you could develop a language for expressing the essence of Chinese design. Harmony is one of the great gifts the Chinese nation offers to the world, said leading Chinese scholar Ji Xianling. Harmony within and between each other. Chinese culture also includes luck and harmony. Chinese lucky culture is a hidden symbol in the Chinese Dictionary of Life, said by an American scholar at Harvard. China has 5,000 years of history. The philosophy of luck originates from the ancient Chinese people who deflected evil and invited good fortune and happiness.
Hi, Aga.
Hi, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to get you something nice for your birthday, so I got you these 4 pairs.
Oh, pears.
Yeah, 4 pairs. I hope you like them. Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye. 4 pears. I heard you have a job interview recently.
Yeah, today.
I made you a gift.
Oh.
It's a symbol of success and lucky in Chinese culture.
Oh, cool.
It's 3 things.
Oh. 666.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's lucky.
It's lucky?
Yeah, and success.
Oh, successful. Cool.
And you should paint it.
Oh, on my clothes.
That's right.
Oh,
It matches
yeah.
color.
I bet you don't really like it.
Yeah, they like it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna rock it.
Oh, thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, I heard you were moving apartments.
Yes.
Yeah. And I wanted to make you something special as like a housewarming gift. So I made you this clock.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, enjoy the clock and good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
You can never give Chinese a pear as a gift because the Chinese pronunciation of pear, li, is the same pronunciation as to be apart from someone and to never see each other anymore. Never give 4 pears to somebody. In China, the number 4 is considered extremely unlucky. It has the same pronunciation as death in Chinese. You can never give a clock as a gift to Chinese people. 葬章, which means to give a clock to someone, also sounds like the phrase to attend his or her funeral. Conversely, Chinese people consider the number 6 very lucky, because 6 sounds like the word flow in Mandarin. That suggests that everything will go very smoothly. But in America, people avoid the number 666 because it is a symbol of the devil.
So this is an example to how ignorance of each other's culture can lead to misunderstanding in communication. Numbers have always played a significant role in Chinese culture. Ba means fortune in Chinese. Number 8, Fa, has long been regarded as the luckiest number. I created a sticky tape with number 8 on it. You can make anything lucky. Here you can see the iconic American party cup. What I did is I redesigned the party cup. I embossed two words inside the cup, indicating two different levels, one for tea and one for beer. In Chinese culture, tea should only fill 70% of a cup. The other 30% is space for your emotions. However, if you're entertaining a guest and pouring beer, you should fill the cup. Here's another example. Chinese people who live in southern China never turn fish over when they finish one side of it. This action of turning over the fish, it is to symbolize the fish boats will capsizing in the ocean. When they finish one side, Chinese people get rid of the fish bone and then eat the other side. I still remember when I was a little girl, I tried to turn over the fish and my mom just hit my hand. So I designed a plate with an alarm that goes off. If you try to turn over the fish, no, no, no. Here we have Chinatown, New York. There are many shops that sell Chinese lucky objects. You may not know that each item has a specific lucky function. Americans love to look. However, the shopkeeper doesn't try to explain the cultural context of each object. He just lets his customers come and go without buying anything. It just looks a bunch of beautiful red stuff there. How can I design an experience to guide non-Chinese people into understanding the different aspects of Chinese lucky culture? So I create Chinese lucky clinic and interactive experience. I went back to Chinatown and I approached the Harmony Gift Center. I chose Chinese palm reading as the starting point and offered free reading. I scanned people's hands with my iPad using the app Chinese Palm Reader. After scanning, the app analyzed the reading. Like a doctor, I will write a prescription which will tell them what medicine lucky object they should buy. Let's take a closer look to the prescription. So, for instance, Stephen's palm reading he had a short lifeline. I could check the box lion head because lion heads bring luck and bravery, and I gave them a small palm necklace. And let's watch a small video.
Okay.
Okay, you can see this one. During the Chinese palm reading, my audiences were engaged and very excited to learn about Chinese lucky culture. After I gave them their prescription, they were eager to buy the objects that would bring them luck. Tom, one of the participants, told me that if I have a lot of gods to protect me and bring me luck, no one will reject me, right? Look, Tom, he looked very happy here. And 2 weeks later, I wanted to try another design intervention. I held a co-creative workshop. Imagine the year 2050, Manhattan has become one huge Chinatown. I encourage Americans to design a toolkit for themselves to adapt the Chinese culture. People based on these 6 cultural differences to design. Like number 2, Chinese people like using the square toilets, which let Americans feel uncomfortable. Number 5, Chinese people like sharing dishes with others, but Americans prefer order their own dishes. Amber, one of the participants, designed a tool which is similar to a baby bouncer. To get used to scoring, the person wears a suspended training device. Gabriel designed a foot-long hamburger so Americans could get used to sharing their food. I want to focus on sharing a little bit more. Luck and sharing with others are the 2 main elements of Chinese culture. The sharing of food is a caring and considerate gesture. Chinese people believe in putting yourself in the other person's shoes and enhancing the harmony with each other. Chinese people assume food will be shared. However, Americans usually eat whatever they order for themselves, except pizza. Americans do love to share pizza. To help Americans adapt to the concept of sharing food, I have decided a gateway cultural adapter. I integrate pizza into the design. On the large, round pizza plate is the pizza base. The individual orders, such as steak, spaghetti, chicken, and fish, will be distributed on each section of the plate. And I started to think on a bigger scale. Today, more than 9,000 Chinese Americans travel across the Pacific each day. The number of American visitors to China has increased by 60% over the past 8 years. How can I help American travelers be more comfortable with Chinese culture and Chinese people? I designed a platform. Say hello to 你好. Learn, teach, practice, and share what you learn. 你好 is an app for people who have decided to go to China. Users can download the app a month before they depart. So let's see how it works. 你好 uses geolocation to give tips in accordance with people's current location and activity. For example, if a user is near a Starbucks in New York City, the app will send a notification about the tea article in China, because tea is more common than coffee there. When people click the notification sent by 你好, they can expand the image and learn more about the content. Americans can practice what they learn from 你好 app when they go to China. Americans can also use the app to share experience with other 你好 users in China. What do you want to share? Always offer someone else tea before you serve yourself. I hope that my products make Chinese culture more accessible and enjoyable to Americans. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, my parents. Thank you, my friends.
Lusha, I think it is so smart of you to try and enter this massive, massive cultural divide through the notion of charm and humor and lucky culture. I was so excited when that started to happen. I just love your products.
Thank you.
And I'm going to need that 8 tape, please.
I will give you. Can you tape all the 8 tapes in your office?
I will, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
I will put it on our every handout we give. So we talked about some of the other objects, and we were talking about rabbit's foot.
Yeah, right? Rabbit's foot, yeah. I usually will hear a lot of people, Americans, tell me that you are my lucky charm, you are my rabbit's foot. At that time, I'm not sure why rabbit's foot, because like Chinese people never will wear animal's body, like a lucky charm in their beside them, yeah.
And apparently it has to be the left hind foot, and apparently it has to be shot or captured in the cemetery. We looked this up. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more to the rabbit's foot than we thought. I love the pizza intervention.
Thanks.
What did the people who you tested that with? I mean, for the photo, everybody was smiling, right?
Yeah. They really enjoyed the intervention I held in Chinatown. There were a lot of people participant, and after I guide them, they are eager to buy a lot of lucky objects in the shop. And also, the shopkeeper is very happy. Now Americans can buy their stuff there.
See, it really is all about commerce. It's all right. And I guess I have to ask you, so you've been here for 2 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about American culture and Chinese culture now that you've actually been immersed here for a little while now?
Yeah, so I still remember when I got here, and a lot of people would ask me, how are you doing? How do you do? And at that time, I always, should I start a long conversation with them? Actually, like, how are you doing? It's the same like when you are in China. Chinese people always ask you, have you eaten yet? It's the same meaning. Just to say hello, So I confused a long time, and then my friends told me that just say hello and then stop. So it's different.
We have to end with that. That's the best story I've ever heard. All right. Thank you so much, Lusha.
Thank you. 谢谢。So I asked myself, how can I use my talent as an industrial designer to encourage Americans' understanding of Chinese culture? Research began with reading the books, ranging from Chinese culture, Chinese symbols. As a Chinese student in an international department, I always want to share our great culture, like a good ambassador for culture exchange with Americans, both in school and socially. Americans often tell me Chinese culture is hard to access. In 2012, China-US trade reached $484.7 billion. My vision is enhancing Americans' understanding of China and its 1.3 billion people to eliminate the gap between the two nations and to promote better communication. Hi, my name is Lusha Huang. Today, I'm excited to present my thesis. It's Chinese to me. To decide in China. I interviewed designers and other professionals with experience in Chinese culture. Well-known design thought leader John Maida said, many Chinese social networks have more features than American ones. Marilyn Davis, CEO